My boss stole my idea and got promoted. The psychology behind workplace betrayal. What is the exact value of a brilliant idea? In the corporate world, it can be the difference between a corner office and a pink slip. But what happens when the person you trust to guide your career, your mentor, your manager, your boss, decides that your genius belongs to them? Today on Yankee Psyche, we are dissecting a chilling case of workplace betrayal that went viral on Reddit, involving a senior analyst named Liam and a director who didn't just steal a project, but attempted to steal a legacy. Most people think that if they work hard and stay loyal, the meritocracy will protect them. They believe that their talent is their shield, but as we explore the hidden patterns of the human mind, we discover that in the high-stakes world of corporate advancement, your talent isn't a shield, it's a target. This is the psychological autopsy of $1 million betrayal. We are going to break down the dark triad traits that allow a leader to look an employee in the eye while effectively erasing their professional existence. We will explore why smart people often fail to see the corporate predator until it is too late, and we will reveal the exact moment the karma finally arrived to collect its debt. Stick with us until the very end because we aren't just telling a story. We are going to provide you with the psychological tools to spot a workplace saboteur before they can dismantle your future. If you have ever felt invisible at work while someone else took the credit for your sweat and tears, this deep dive is for you. Our story begins with Liam. For 3 years, Liam was the engine room of his department. He was the one who arrived at 6 in the morning and stayed until the cleaning crew finished their rounds. He wasn't just a hard worker, he was a visionary. Liam had spent 18 months developing a proprietary algorithm that would revolutionize the firm's logistics, potentially saving them tens of millions of dollars annually. His boss, a charismatic director named David, had been his biggest cheerleader. David told Liam that this project was his ticket to the top. He encouraged Liam to share every draft, every line of code, and every strategy document in a shared collaborative folder. David acted as the supportive mentor, the protective shield that allowed Liam to focus purely on the work. This is what we call the predatory mentor archetype. In the psychology of workplace betrayal, the predator often uses a tactic called love bombing for labor. They overwhelm the subordinate with praise and promises of future rewards to ensure total transparency. Liam, fueled by the validation of a powerful superior, gave David total access to his intellectual property. The descent began on the day of the annual board presentation. Liam had prepared his suit, rehearsed his speech, and was ready to present his life's work to the executive committee. But an hour before the meeting, David sent Liam a brief, cold email. It said, "Change of plans, Liam. The board wants a more senior presence for this specific reveal. I'll take it from here. Stay at your desk and keep an eye on the live data." Liam watched from his monitor as David stood before the board and presented Liam's algorithm as his own solo innovation. David didn't just take the lead. He systematically erased Liam's name from every slide. He spoke in terms of I and my, and by the end of the day, David was announced as the new vice president of operations. He had been promoted on the back of a theft so brazen it felt surreal. When Liam confronted him in private, David didn't apologize. He didn't even get angry. He simply looked at Liam and said, "This is how the game is played. You're young, you'll have other ideas. But for now, remember who signs your paychecks." At Yankee Psyche, we break down the why behind human behavior, and David's behavior is rooted in a psychological profile known as Machiavellianism. Individuals with these traits view interpersonal relationships as a zero-sum game. To David, Liam wasn't a teammate or a protege, he was a resource to be harvested. David didn't feel guilt because in his mind his superior position entitled him to the output of those below him. This is the psychology of entitlement that fuels workplace betrayals across the globe. To understand why Liam stayed silent in that initial moment, we have to look at betrayal trauma. When a person you trust as a mentor violates that trust so deeply, it causes a form of cognitive dissonance. Liam's brain couldn't reconcile the supportive David with the predatory David. He was essentially gaslit into believing that perhaps David was right, that this was just business. He fell into the trap of the sunk cost fallacy of loyalty, believing that if he just stayed and worked harder, eventually David would make it right. But workplace predators don't make things right. They just find new targets. For 6 months, David enjoyed his new title and his massive salary increase. Liam, meanwhile, was relegated to maintenance on his own invention. But David made the classic mistake of every narcissistic leader. He believed that because he owned the idea, he understood the idea. He lacked the fundamental knowledge of the why behind the algorithm's structure. He was a tenant living in a house that Liam had built, and he didn't know where the load-bearing walls were. The turning point came when a massive glitch appeared in the system. The algorithm began to hemorrhage data, causing a logistical nightmare that threatened to cost the company millions in a single week. The board turned to David, their innovator, for a fix. But David couldn't fix it. He tried to pressure Liam into a silent repair, but Liam had reached his breaking point. Liam realized that his silence was the only thing keeping David's empire standing. In a move of calculated narrative retribution, Liam did the unthinkable. He didn't just refuse to fix it. He took a planned leave of absence for mental health, citing the immense stress of the workplace environment. With the creator gone, David's incompetence was laid bare. In a high-stakes emergency meeting with the board, David was asked to explain the core logic of the system to a team of outside consultants. He crumbled. He couldn't answer basic questions about the architecture he claimed to have invented. But Liam hadn't just left. He had left behind a digital trail. Before his leave, Liam had moved all his original time-stamped drafts, his early conceptual sketches, and his private communications with David into a secure, immutable file on the company's internal audit server. He then sent a deep psychological and technical analysis of the project's history to the head of ethics and the CEO. Karma hits hard, especially in a corporate environment where money is on the line. When the board realized that David had not only lied about his innovation but had put the entire company at risk due to his technical ignorance, the fallout was swift. An internal investigation uncovered the years of workplace envy and sabotage David had inflicted on other staff members to maintain his position. He wasn't just a thief, he was a liability. Within 48 hours, David was escorted from the building by security. His promotion was rescinded, his reputation was in tatters, and he was facing legal action for the misappropriation of company intellectual property. Liam was invited back, not as an analyst, but as a director of innovation. He had reclaimed his narrative, but the scars of workplace betrayal remain. Liam's story is a haunting reminder that behind every corporate success story, there is a complex psychological reality. We like to believe that leadership is about vision and guidance, but sometimes it is about the predatory acquisition of other people's light. Every video we create at Yankee Psyche is designed to make you think, question, and understand the human mind on a deeper level. We want you to be able to identify the David in your own office before you give them the keys to your future. We want you to understand that workplace betrayal is rarely about the work itself. It is about power, insecurity, and the hidden patterns of entitlement that drive certain individuals to destroy what they cannot create. Now, we have a very important question for you, and we want you to be completely honest in the comment section right now. Have you ever had an idea stolen by a superior? Did you speak up, or did you stay silent out of fear for your job? Maybe you have witnessed a coworker being sabotaged for years by a manager who was jealous of their talent. Or perhaps you are currently in a situation where you feel your boss is taking credit for your hard work. Share your story below. Describe the moment of truth when you realized you were being used. Your confession might be the life lesson someone else needs to hear today to protect their own career. It might be the warning sign that helps a young professional spot a predator before they sign over their intellectual property. We read every comment because we believe that by sharing these real-life stories and applying deep psychological insight, we can create a community that understands the true cost of betrayal. If you value real stories with deep psychological analysis and the hard truths about karma and narrative retribution in the workplace, subscribe to Yankee Psyche. We are revealing the human mind one story at a time. We tackle the shocking confessions, the family conflicts, and the relationship drama that defines our existence. Don't let someone else build their empire on your foundation. Stay analytical, stay protected, and always keep your receipts. Remember, the truth always comes out eventually, and when it does, make sure you are the one holding the evidence. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next deep dive into the human psyche.